So my name is Ian Kennard. I am the proud owner of Willie's Café. We really specialize in soups, salads, sandwiches. We're just a little local coffee shop and cafe. Do a lot of corporate catering. I have a great team that makes it happen. We've been working together for at least 20 years. Makes it pretty special. So I got my start in the restaurant business when I was in high school. My first job was working at a hotel. And by the end of the high school, I was hooked on the business and knew that at some point I was going to own my own restaurant. In 1996, I was thinking about venturing out and buying my own restaurant. We'd heard of a small cafe that might be available. We approached the owners and asked if they were interested in selling, and they agreed. And within a year, we had taken over and opened the cafe ourselves. Kent was my business partner for about 8 years. So in 2004, it was time for Kent to move on to bigger and better things. And one of the biggest changes we made was we stopped doing dinners, and we really focused on the lunch business and the corporate catering business to sort of build up the business after we stopped doing dinners. I sold the business with the intention of retiring, but that only lasted about 6 months. When we found a location in the East Village. And the East Village was an up-and-coming neighborhood full of small independent businesses, very vibrant, very energetic, and we thought it would be a great place to restart Willie's Café. So when we first opened in the East Village, it was awesome. It took a while for us to get recognition and people to find out where we were. But once the word got out, we really started to hit our stride. We were a great part of the community. The community was good for us. And it was a very exciting place to be because it was such a vibrant and a neighborhood that was really developing. You know, one of the reasons we moved into the old East Village is that we knew it had challenges, but we also knew there was a really great group of small independent businesses who had moved in and wanted to make a change and build community, and I thought I could be part of that. I wanted to be part of building that community, understanding that, you know, it didn't make any sense to try and push the problem somewhere else. So I just wanted to be part of the community building that was going on in the neighborhood. COVID-19 was pretty tough on us. The initial impact is that we actually closed for 8 months, and unfortunately the neighborhood took a real hit. And that was probably our biggest challenge, is that the once vibrant and exciting neighborhood started to change and change dramatically. The challenges that were once minor became pretty significant in terms of the unhoused population and the impact that they were having on our neighborhood, and the feeling of our customers, or the comfort level of our customers coming to the community. And that was our biggest challenge, is that, you know, a lot of our customers no longer felt comfortable coming to our store. So currently, you know, we're still in the East Village. We have a beautiful location that, you know, we invested in. But unfortunately, the community is really struggling to recover. And I know local governments are doing what they can, but it's still a real challenge. Very difficult for us to attract customers right now. You know, according to the CFIB, Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses, most small businesses post-COVID carry somewhere between $160,000 and $200,000 worth of debt as a result. And that, in a way, is my reality. It's been very challenging to stay on top of vendors and suppliers. You know, I've leveraged quite a bit of my savings to keep the business going. Yeah, and it's pretty devastating to not be able to have a business that was once thriving still be able to generate revenue that allows it to survive. You know, it became clear that because of the challenges we were facing in the current location, that it was no longer viable. And I had two choices. I could either close or I could move, and I wasn't ready to give up. So we started looking at a new location, and we needed to look at a place that had a different atmosphere, a different setting where Willie's could flourish and thrive. You know, so we're moving, and I had several close friends ask me, "Why, Ian? Why are you going to move again?" When I really had to think about that, and it came down to one thing, and that's joy. Right? I enjoy coming to work every day. I enjoy the staff and the team that we built and how we work together. And I also believe that because we enjoy what we do so much, that joy is reflected in the food and the service that we provide. And then if all we do is bring a little bit of joy to somebody's day, then it's worth it. So that's why I'm willing to move again. We're really excited to let everybody know that we are moving into a 255 Queens at the corner of Queens and Wellington, also known as One London Place. That is Sifton Properties' flagship office tower. And really what makes it special is that, we're on the main floor of a 25-story office tower. The location is ideal for us. The space is spectacular. It has 2-story windows facing south. It is 5 times the size of our current location. So the potential and the opportunity is just huge. So, many people have asked me what's next for the cafe. And really the biggest thing about the move is that it's an opportunity for us to sort of really see what we're capable of, and for the business to flourish. It's really sort of been struggling for the last 3 years, and this is just a big opportunity for us to sort of take off and see what we're capable of. We're really not going to change anything. We just want to do it in a bigger and better way. You make me cry. So, I'm incredibly lucky because I've worked hard at building a customer base and a customer loyalty, and their support means everything. The fact that they continue to come and support me despite where we're located, the fact that they are incredibly excited about the move and are looking forward to it and willing to support us. And I think what's really rewarding about that is the feedback that we get. The fact that people really love what we do. They love our food, they love our service. And in many ways, those are the customers that have kept us going over the last 4 to 5 years. One of the things that I really value and really what makes us successful is the team that I have working for me. And I really want to keep them with me. So one of the things that I believe is important for Willie's, despite the fact that we've struggled for the last few years, is to continue to be a part and a contributing member of the community. And we do that in a couple of ways. We have a very strong relationship with my sister's place. So if there's ever leftovers or from a catering or from the end of the week, our leftovers always go to my sister's place and they put them to good use, and they're very grateful for that relationship. The final way I support the community is through an organization called ATN, and they work with staffing challenges and staffing issues. And I have, over the years, worked very closely with them to bring staff on, provide training, provide social skills, and help those staff members become give them job experience and encourage them to be part of the community. My new landlord asked the question, well, what are you bringing to the new location? And really the biggest answer is I've got 30 years of experience. We've been doing this for 30 years through, a couple of recessions. Not all those 30 years have been great, but we've also had some really spectacular years. So here we are, and I never really expected to be here. I don't think anybody expected COVID and the impact it was going to have. I never expected to be closed for 8 months. And I don't think anybody thought that the community that we were in would ever get to the point that it is now. Really, I've leveraged, a lot of my personal savings and my livelihood to make sure that the restaurant keeps functioning, that my staff still have a job. And really, I know that this move is the best thing we can do. And when we get there, we will be successful, we will flourish, and Willie's will really sort of be what it was meant to be and show what it's capable of. We just need your help to get there. So we're launching a GoFundMe campaign, and I'm one of the questions you might ask is, how can you help us? Well, there's several ways that you can help us. And really the first is just to continue to support us at our current location. We all know the neighborhood is challenging, but we're still here. We're still, working away as hard as we can to make a difference, not only here, but also to keep providing the same level of, food and quality and service that we always have. Second way you can support us, buy gift certificates. We always have gift certificates for sale, and they can be used in a few ways. They make great gifts for families. They also make great gifts to support your local favorite charity, or you can keep them and use them yourself at our new location. And finally, the third way to support us is to make a straight donation to our GoFundMe campaign. We have a target that we're trying to reach, and any donation, large or small, will go a long way to help us reaching that target. If we reach our fundraising target, it'll do a few things for us. It'll allow us to start fresh without any of the financial burden that we've been building and experiencing over the last few years. It'll also give us the freedom to sort of move ahead with confidence. It will give us the opportunity to look at the new space and really sort of do the work and create and reflect what Willie's is all about. It will allow us to keep the team together and make sure that we're all looked after as we move there. And really, it'll give us the freedom and opportunity to start writing the next chapter of Willie's Café. So I consider myself pretty lucky, and I'm pretty grateful that I've had the opportunity to do this for 30 years and build the relationships that I have with you, our customers and our clients. And it's pretty special. And really what I'm asking for is your help just to get us to this next location, get us to the next step, and provide me and my staff the opportunity to do this for another 30 years and to continue building relationships like the ones that I have with you. Very grateful for your support. Very grateful that you've been a part of the Willie's family and the Willie's story for this long. And we really look forward to continuing that relationship and to continuing to building the success of Willie's Café.